Hey all, this is Anosis, and I'm pretty certain it's going to be part 8 of the Final Fantasy VII True Low Level Challenge. It's not lowest level possible. I will do lowest level possible when we're done with this, but I'm going to split it up into lowest level possible glitchless and with glitches, because really, in order to really do it, you will need to do glitches and stuff that right to do things properly. Anyway, we're back in Cosmo Canyon. In Cosmo Canyon, it's going to be very important with what we have as the setup, because here in Cosmo Canyon, right? In Cosmo Canyon, we're going to be able to gain some levels, of course. Here's the thing, right? You might say that, oh, but we did do some kind of this. Yes, that is because, of course, we don't allow any random encounters. However, forced encounters are quote-unquote allowed, which is why it was possible to grind there early on in Midgar and stuff that, That is also why we are allowed to take the quote-unquote encounter. Now here's the thing, that if this was lowest level possible, then we wouldn't be allowed to even take those forced encounters that we can avoid. Meaning, for example, we wouldn't be allowed to do the elevator in the Shimra building, meaning we would have to go the stairs, for example, if it would have been a lowest level possible challenge. And that would also mean that, for example, like, we need to save before each boss, and then if there survives more than 2 characters against a boss, then we will lose the reset. Now the main problem is, of course, on Reno, as I said, we need to kill off the other 2 characters, basically, because them being in a pyramid still gives them XP, as we saw, and stuff that, which, is really fucking scary, because you either need to have high enough damage with the characters, basically, and stuff that, right? And you need to get lucky who gets left last and stuff that, which is why, of course, like, yes, throwing grenades is gonna be important and stuff that, But I feel like the grenade stat is just such a boring, like, that's just like the whole speed running thing and stuff that, and I feel like it's better used to have some materia and stuff that, but yeah. And of course, the money issue is also gonna be a thing, of course, when you do a lowest level possible. Right, so now we just need to recruit here. Right. What did he say? You actually gain points with characters you bring here, if I remember correctly. So you want to actually do this instead of bringing Aerith, because Aerith already has sort of positive points. So, we already got the buses for Peacemaker Platinum Bangle. The interesting thing is that the lost number, I don't know if it will be possible immediately once we reach there and stuff that, The interesting thing is, of course, also that yes, we're gonna break every single rock, even the wrong ones, stuff that in the first section of the cable key. Because then you can get some forced encounters by breaking the rocks and stuff that, like breaking wrong rocks and stuff that, yeah. And keep in mind, Tifa as the character didn't exist at first at all. Like, Tifa got added because of the fact that Ares was gonna die. Because Ares dying was actually something that was decided actually really early on, apparently. But then, of course, Tifa was actually created to actually be like, okay, like it's gonna feel really bad if you have invested a lot of time into Ares and stuff that, and then Ares dies, and then like Claude is just fucking miserable and stuff that, like. Yeah. But I wonder what his backstory was before Tifa even existed, right? Because what would be his reason to like keep being alive and not being on separate side and stuff that, because he has no one basically and stuff that, like he has no one interested in him and stuff that, I'm guessing, right, if Tifa didn't exist, Yuffie still existed, of course. But Yuffie was, of course, meant to be a quote-unquote soldier that was an actual real soldier that was actually sent after the party or whatever. But then she got changed into the new character she's now. But that's why she actually has the shoulder pad, because that's actually part of the shoulder stuff. And I mean, that kind of would make sense, right? Because Zack kind of was her idol and stuff that, like, Zack, of course, played along with her and being like, oh no, I'm so scared of you and blah, 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 and stuff that. But yeah, because here, for example, we are going to be able to probably pick up death sentence and stuff that from one of the rock fights. And getting death sentence is going to be really, really good in order to make sure that Tifa can do more damage. Although we don't not probably going to get to use Tifa much, but yeah, but it's going to become very interesting once we lose Aerith, depending on how many levels she will have over the other party members. We did, of course, repeat a bunch of times because the boss encounters are, of course, forced encounters. So, you're allowed to do that. And, of course, the first 2 times we did Genova Birth, we allowed Aerith to be the only one alive. But then the 3rd time we did it, we allowed all the characters to be alive. And it was used to keep their levels at a certain value, because basically you can soft lock yourself because you don't have any way to grind like later on, except for the boss in Northern Crater, because they give you no XP and stuff that don't give you AP. Now we need to go to the fire. Oh. Wait, isn't this here now? No, it's not here, it's further down. It's in the weapon shop kinda. Because this is where you can gain infinite points with, Let's do this 10 times maybe. Two times. Oh. But is it really that one? It's not the other one. Yeah, let's just do that twice. How about if you need to have Barret in your party or not, or if you need to have it done somewhere else, Yeah, let's get in with Barret first. Because I think the order you talk to them here actually does matter. Yeah, and it's actually really evil of Tifa to quote unquote to like hold it out for Claude and stuff that, and not tell him the truth that you never came to Nibelheim and stuff that. But then the thing that she's thinking, of course, is how could he know all of this stuff? How could he know that I was there at the reactor and stuff that. Return forgive you for. We need to bring Aerith to cause because Aerith is gonna absorb all the XP. It's gonna be really easy because we just need to throw explosion on him and stuff that. So yeah, we get locked to that, and we need to use Quiet in. So Quiet is slightly higher, not as high as the Fear, but we keep them in back row, and we actually. So one enemy skill there, one enemy skill there, both of them should have the enemy skill. Yeah. You might say Ifrit is really stupid, because isn't the thing immune to Ifrit, I think. Yeah, I want Shiva on Lord. And we want Shokomog on Fear. We want Ice on everyone. Ice on Lord. Ice on him, and Ice on her. No, actually restore. Restore here. Restore here. Sense would be nice, but yeah, get fire there. Lightning. Can we use poison here? Yes. Yeah, I think that's going to be the setup. Yeah, and that's going to be our setup here. And yeah, so we have 2 enemy skills so far. The next enemy skill is of course in like the ancient city, or you know, that is the 3rd one. And then the 4th and final enemy skill is going to be in another place, but yeah. Do. And yeah, so the next challenge is going to be a lowest level version of this. But the reason why we're doing like lower level challenge first is just so I can like learn, kind of get a feel for like what some of the enemy HPs and stuff like that, you know. And here I'm allowed to grind, of course. The thing will be on the other file, we won't be allowed to grind at all and stuff like that, and then things will get even harder because then it will be even more strict with the cash. And yeah, and then it's not a guarantee that that Ares will always like absorb the XP. I mean, you should always have Ares absorb all the XP whenever possible and stuff like that, but yeah. Because here is the thing, where if you do things with glitches, then you would want to do the gate glitch at the very beginning. But the main problem, of course, is they haven't added a way to save state into this. I wonder how hard it would be to code in just have a save state or add a save point, right? Because I know that you can add save points into the game. Make it so that you can have a save crystal from the very start, and instead of using it in Not and Create, have it so you can use it somewhere else. So we're going to be breaking all the ones, even the ones we don't need here, used to get extra encounters. So break it open, boom, and it's going to force some encounter. And these are the guys we want, by the way. These are the guys we want, actually. So we need to hope that the death sentence is what we're hoping for. Hopefully they don't die in one hellfire here. Hopefully they actually survive this. Because these are the enemies that can be death sentence us. Because keep in mind, if we don't get death sentence from them, oh wow, hellfire is already that strong. Okay, it's good to know. Normally, I would want to make sure that we have some Phoenix Sounds already at this point, because of the fact that we can still die to spiders and stuff like that. But yeah, so you can see now that rock is open. I'm gonna do all the wrong rocks first. Okay, 3 of them. Just do healing in there. And maybe we use Chocobo here instead. Because normally otherwise if it came to I want the kills with I want it on when I'm Snake. But instead, although getting her level 2 limit breaks would also be really, really good and stuff that, you know. So that was the kill him at least. But that does freeze them. Yeah, we didn't go with any of those that aren't boom hit. Oh, they're skewering so much. Let's hit another one. I don't know why don't they do something, so do they do it when you're low enough on health? Is that it? Yeah, that's sentence. That's very nice. Now we need it on him as well, maybe. Shidomo domo paros. Shidomo domo paros. Shidomo domo paros. We've at least got then one death sentence now at least. Or we would also need one target on red 13 if possible. I think as long as we have one, that's going to be good enough. And normally this is the correct one, the left one there. But yeah, is it always going to be them? Okay, good. Zero probably just kills them. But I mean, if we can get the higher level it breaks, then that would be good and stuff that, because it does help a lot towards... Okay, that doesn't kill them though. Okay, death sentence on Cloud because he was the one doing the damage. Come on, Okay, so they do react to damage, who they cast a death sentence on, it seems like. So hopefully Death Blow doesn't kill them. Hopefully they cancel our Death Blow here. No, it's Death Blow's gonna kill them all. Right, and I think that's everything. That's all of the extra caves that you can do. Yeah, that's all of them. Yeah, that's all of them. So, you know, so a few extra battles we get to do, and, you know, that's nice. 48, how much she has the highest MP left. But if you know, for example, where the correct one is, for example, you can just do that one. But it is good to get those extra battles there because now we've got a lot more AP and stuff that. And keep in mind the thing is, for example, if we would gain Black one more level with Ifrit, then that would be way more cast of Ifrit of course, obviously. So here we want to walk. Make sure that we walk. Because here we get added effect. And added effect is of course very, very useful because adds material status to equipped weapon or armor. Which means quite a lot. Which means, for example, like if you take this, for example, time, and you combine that with added effect, then yeah, it's like really, really good. The main problem with double AP weapons, of course, is that you cannot rely on like linked materia for the most part. And stuff that you cannot rely on that, so yeah, a bit annoying. We do want to go down here though, because one is an item, one is a black megaphone, I think. So an ether, and then the other one is the black megaphone, I think. A black megaphone. We'll get an ether, of course. It might actually be worth resting up before we fight one of the spiders. Because the scary thing about the spiders is, of course, that they can do some really, really nasty stuff. Theoretically, though, we don't need enemy skill with us anymore. Because the spider doesn't have an enemy skill. I don't think he does, at least. I don't think he has laser. So the question is, what would we go with instead here? This question. We go with sense. I think it would be nice also. Let's go with tight, and then let's go with the armor here. Otherwise, we could use transform. I know that actually works on the spider and stuff that, And we do have Mega Elixir though. In worst case scenario. So that one is just that silly thing. Right, so first speed there. I'm just testing fire here to see if it absorbs fire here. You absorb fire? No, you do not absorb fire. I thought it did for some reason. Now we want to kill all the spiders, of course, obviously, if possible. That should freeze it though. Pretty certain that does freeze it, yeah. Freeze it for a while, and Shiva. It with quiet, and the bio. This is of course a bit scary to do here, because we killed one and it only got a few one hit in or two. And we need to pick up that item. That's going to be the explosion, I think. But we also want to go here because this is fairy ring, right? A fairy ring, which is poison and darkness. Yeah, both poison and darkness protection. It actually says for quite a bit, if I remember correctly. Our MP situation is pretty bad though. Right, and there is a treasure chest up there. So there's 2 more spooders we can fight. We don't have a lot of healing though left, and physical attacking it is not gonna be good. So we're actually gonna go back, and we're gonna rest up. Just to have our HP restored. And then we might decide to stop by the PHS. I think the PHS system should still work. You shouldn't have to go to the bonfire. Or maybe we do. Maybe we do have to go to the bonfire. If we have to go to the bonfire, that's going to be a bit annoying. But yeah. So yeah, it's very important, of course, that it is a big difference, of course, being able to actually take certain like encounters and stuff that here. Which is why it's not called lowest level, right? But it will be called like true lowest level possible challenge, and then there will be like a glitchless version. Yeah, I wonder if that's a mistranslation, right? Or does it say that he can keep it open forever, or does it say that he cannot, you know? So here, focus and fire ring for 3,500. And it's for 750. And now, we don't have access to PHS here. However, we change quickly into Kate Sit here. We used to have Kate Sit equipped the black megaphone. Players count me out. Rapid Kate Sit. Kate Sit goes into black megaphone, which is even weaker attack-wise. It is even weaker, but it has more attack percentage, which often means more crit. I don't know, right? Because they say that, oh, it's just accuracy, but I feel like that feels like bullshit. Stuff that. Yes, now we have black megaphone there. Which is good, and she will get her weapon here. For example, still the white megaphone, boom. Not worth that much, but still. And I think you're right that we need to probably get some more tranquilizers here. They might say, oh, that was not worth it getting that many and stuff that, because that wasted a lot of our money. Stuff that, and sure, but that should be enough tranquilizers for an entire run, basically. And that is also because I know now that, for example, like, we're not gonna really be spending money really on basically almost anything else. I might say, sure, using double RP weapons isn't the best, like later on and stuff that, but it's just gonna, because getting the... Oh. That's interesting. I think that's the first time I see them actually be... Because on certain inns, you don't get anything special with them running out from the bed like that, you know. Then we can tranquilize up here, of course, obviously. So for example, you can see that Yashi would need way less than the Fear does. Now, of course, 13 has a very, I think it's called Blood Feast, right? Or Earth Rave, one of his like underestimated like limit breaks and stuff that, you know, which is actually pretty good. Yeah. Now theoretically, the first real place where we can grind technique for limit breaks, unless we would have grinded that thing in Midgar, is gonna be from the movers and stuff that, you know. So I don't need to go up there. Yeah, that fire is going to be the quickest one, of course, to gain weight and stuff like that. Yeah. Now, of course, since we cannot take random encounters, we won't be able to get chocobos at all and stuff like that, which is a bit scary, meaning that you need to defeat Ultima Weapon in order to get access to the forest and stuff like that. But yeah, but that should mean that you can kill Ultima Weapon before Diamond Weapon, which means that you will be able to get access to Apocalypse and stuff like that. The music bug happens, which is not particularly fun here, but it should probably be reset after the fight with Spooder. And let's fight this Spooder. Fear uses Ramu. She uses Ifrit. Next position. I know that the poison is actually very good on this, but you don't need poison in your stuff. And yeah, I know that we need to go back to Final Fantasy VIII as well and continue on that challenge as well, you know, and stuff like that, you know. But the main thing that I'm worried about is that will I be able to go back to Baran Garden, because I feel like in Dealing City there's probably not going to be a place in Dealing City where we can quote unquote get the cards we need if we want to get Lionheart Disc 1 and stuff like that. Like Lionheart Disc 1 is not dead, but you know, it is a pretty easy thing to do. It has never been like a really hard thing to do or anything, but yeah. I think that's the gravity-based attack, by the way. Okay, we made him really mad for some reason. Can actually cross-slash here. Actually, let's wait with the cross-slash. Actually, Pure to cure himself, because he should get... Did he even get stunned from that? That was old. He actually resisted the stop from that's pretty good damage. Hopefully this will work. At least for a while. Yeah, he died. It was a bit scary there, I'm not gonna lie. Theoretically, I would want the characters to almost be dead here after the last spider. There's an explosion, so now we have 2 explosions. Because keep in mind, we can use up all of our MP on this net here, because we want to make sure that Claude and Doggo dies. But we don't know how much you know, she's actually gonna see evil here instead. Because that is actually gonna stop it for a while. X-Men point. That time, that should probably kill it off. I wonder why it didn't steam bomb or whatever. Right, then we want to use some of his MP to heal her. And then if we would have had hypers here, we could have... because we want them to take a lot of damage here, of course, obviously. Because hopefully we can make him possess with the fires that he possesses. That he possesses someone else instead. I'm pushing off the jet course so we can. Because you would really want to have elemental fire as your protection. I feel. I forgot if you can kill the fires or not. Please don't take over her, though. Why did you have to go on her? Please don't. Okay, it's not the worst thing in the world. I forgot if you could kill the fires or not, or if the fires just respawn. Yeah, I'm just gonna cast this just to, might have been bad though, in case we need to heal her. Yeah, that's good. Okay, the fire is healing itself. What was like you're gonna cure Aerith? Yeah, take over. You cannot take over the same character twice, right? Rain. That fire is coming back. Hopefully that fire will take over one more snack here. Hopefully that actually locks them here. Oh, she got low there. Every damage is low. It is nice to cure her. Please stop slow down now. Why do you have to take her over every fucking single time? Yeah, lucky we have enough MP left here though to do the thing. Tag cured. Yeah, no attack Claude, and hopefully we can get to explosion here before she dies. Explosion on him, and then he dies. Our explosion. Dead. 5,500. Okay, the setup there is pretty rough, but she gets 1,400, which gets her level 17. We get the vice staff. Right, and now we remove everything from him. Remove everything from him. We'll now we don't leave her as we used to that. Arrange first. And then she equips Vice Staff, which is quite an upgrade. And her magic staff is now 41. It's a magic staff at level 17. And also because she has Vice Staff, so yeah. So that is pretty good. She has a very good magic defense for now. Nice like that. So yeah, you know. Vice Staff really good. You know. And we get gravity here. We get gravity material, which is nice. Yeah, I know I need to go back to that other run where we continue all and stuff like that because I wanted to show you some dumb ways to kill like Emerald Weapon. Like if you really want to kill Emerald Weapon really bad, there is just a setup you can do with HP manipulation and stuff like that to set up like a 7. And then if you set up like 7, even if you do it on one character, for example, and then you equip said character with a few counterattacks, then you can get some extra stuff in. With that, and for example, also if you have double cut, for example, like it will actually use the double cut instead of just attacking 75 times or whatever, right? So, you know. Now it's also possible, of course, if you use grind so that you can get the level 4 limit break, for example. You want to be having Sid, because High Wind is theoretically the highest damage limit break that hits the most amount of times. You could technically use Conform with Yuffie, but Yuffie needs very, very high strength set, because you think that, oh, but you know, but it's Emerald Weapon, right, that is level 99, right? But it's a Ruby Weapon that's actually low level for some weird reason. And I don't know if that was a coding mistake or whatever, right? But yeah. But both Emerald Weapon and Ruby Weapon are the best AP in the game and stuff like that. But the main problem is, of course, is that Emerald and Ruby Weapon, right, they are more than Diamond Weapon and stuff like that in terms of AP. And that's why you really want to be using triple AP weapons when you kill them and stuff like that. But yeah. Of course, if you take enough time to do it to where you've already gotten like W summon and W or W summon and Omni Slash, then you're allowed to take part in that specific tournament where the bosses are fixed that you face. And then if you survive all of that, the first time you win, you get final attack materia, and that happens when your character dies. And then you can set it to Phoenix, for example. And then as long as you have enough MP, you will always cast Phoenix when you die, and that will revive every single party member and stuff like that. Now, sadly, Phoenix, of course, will quote-unquote heal Ruby Weapon, but, you know, if you do that and you have enough MP, then you can basically be unkillable. Now, the cool thing would be, if you set up a certain enemy skill, the 4th enemy skill, for example, because there's no real point in the 4th enemy skill, you can make sure that you only learn one enemy skill on it, and then have it connected to final attack, and then you can use the revival that comes out of next. There is a revival basically full that is better than life 2. And that's done like the Engel's Whisper, I think it's called. Something. Maybe it's not. So we want to have her, of course, with us. Under 30 and 1270. So she is the furthest away from all of these heroes, you can see. So we'll be using Tifa here. And we're not fully healed yet here, but yeah, so she's the highest level. Claude is the second highest, and Tifa is actually the lowest right now, but we want to sell the wizard staff, of course. Why do I have Claude in front row there? Welcome. So sell the wizard staff. I think that's the only thing, because the weightless isn't worth anything, potions aren't worth anything. And then the sword. We're about 7 hours in. I mean, we're doing pretty decent progress, I feel like, you know, and stuff that. She isn't like crazy high level, that's the thing that's still a bit scary. Please look after Nanoki, what happened? Yeah, and the elemental material, by the way, we cannot get yet. Till later. But yeah, and yes, we could go back to the old man, but then you would have to do encounters. So you would have to basically keep track of how many encounters you've gotten and stuff like that. So that you know when you need to go to the old man, but yeah, but now, Nibelheim. Right? Was all burned down, wasn't it? because of course, but why do they only dub Claude? Because she was there when it burned as well. Like she has to remember that it burned like that. Oh, that's just not you know. Yeah, very nice. I wanted to see. Okay, so they have high potions here. Let's close all the house. Let's go inside Tifa the Thiefster's house and get some stuff here. Yeah, he doesn't have anything. He was number 5. Got to number 11, Turbo Ether. Platinum Fist. Hello, Platinum Fist. So we get Platinum Fist here. And yeah, Platinum Fist is a big deal because it's 13 damage here. And it has 108 there, which is pretty good. But yeah, and then you can play the song there already, except it doesn't give you elemental material at this point. It's not until this 2 that you get elemental material from it. And let's get some sources. I thought they gave you something. There we go. You receive a Laxos there, but you have to talk to them twice. In Luxstat, yeah, he's still lower than North Girls have Luxstat. Is there a black heap in here? I forgot. Yeah, there is here. Luxors, okay. Okay, now he matches their luck. And the luck is important because yes, it's affect like defense percent and stuff that I believe. Or the kick it affects a bunch of things. How much do it cost to rest here at? 100 gil, oh that's so expensive, man. Sadly there is no one in here though. Stuff that, you know. Right, and it's 2 here. He's calling, Separatist calling. Yeah, they don't give you the thing until Separate leaves. El Piano. Got a Twin Viper, which is a throwing thing. For you for the youths there, so you know, absolutely worthless to us. Enemy launcher, or silver megaphone. Is that the 8 slot? I forgot. Let that see. Magic source. The thing is, of course, on last number, once you get him to a certain amount of HP, that's when he changes how he looks. Enemy launcher. Enemy launch is actually quite interesting though, to be honest. Because, yeah, I would have basically made it so that once you start getting double AP weapons, at that point, no weapon should have just been normal growth. Is how I would have designed it. But yeah, let's actually check here. Because I don't exactly remember. Yes, the Megaphone is the 8 slot one, which is also even less attack and stuff that. But yeah, and enemy launch is actually pretty good. It's actually more damage, but yeah, but it's a long range weapon. But yeah, it's, you know, it doesn't have double. But then I thought, for example, like if they would have made, for example, Silver Megaphone, because it's also weak in attack, if they would have made that double and then it be 8 slots of double, then it wouldn't feel like a way more useful thing in my opinion and stuff that, you know. You know, it would have felt way more usable. Yeah, so we have some things to sell now. So twin white producer for 1600, 1650, 900, and 1650. And that is pretty decent. We're up to 20,000 again, and now comes the equipment thing. Now comes our equipment. So the question is, right, like, time I know that time is powerful, getting like haste up and stuff that, but yeah. Do we need long range though, is the question. So first of 3 Ifrits, as usual, it's gonna give us 3+ magic. When I restore cause, just restore on her, put a restore on him and a restore on Tifa. And Claudia's gonna have Titan and Ramu, and she's gonna have Shiva and Shokimon. Put Steel, and Steel, because that gives us some dexterity, which means that we have a higher defense percentage here. So we have 5 on Board and 2 other characters, we have 4 on Claude, and stuff that. And then cover we put on Claude. We put Sense on Tifa. We put Poison on her. And we put... Could you sleep him? I'm gonna try that out. I think you might actually be able to sleep the boss. It would be interesting if we can or not. Equalizer. Or save. Now we're not guaranteed that we're going to be able to do this, because the main problem is if we cast too many spells, then he will go into his melee form, which will hit you very, very hard and stuff that, you know, which probably means that he will one-shot us. It's what, 36, 10, 59, and then 97. 59 and 97, I believe. I'm not looking at the paper either. Yeah, correct. I do remember the correct combo here, but anyway, I'm gonna pause here immediately and